What's good, YouTube? It's your boy DJ LiftOFF with the JP way, and you don't want to miss this flight. All right, DJs, in this video, I'm going to be showing you all how you can start the transition to a new track by following this easy 3-step process. We're going to be using the baby scratch, chirp scratch, stab, as well as the scribble scratch. Now, before we hop into it, this is what you'll be able to do after you watch this video and get the practice in. All right, DJs, the first thing you want to do is load up 2 tracks. One I'm going to use as my instrumental. The other track is going to be the song that I'm going to practice transitioning into. Right now, I have a vocal, but as I said, you can literally practice with anything. Or if you want to practice with the Serato scratch sentence as well, that will be available for download. Now, the first part of this 3-step process is we want to make sure that we have all of these scratch techniques as perfect as possible and really have them down clean. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice hitting all of these different scratch techniques on the 1, on the 2, on the 3, and the 4. So you can essentially practice this as much as you want, but essentially it's going to look just like this, starting with the baby scratch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see there, that's me starting with the baby scratch. And like I said, you just want to do the baby scratch on the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4. Okay, so now you want to do that same thing with the chirp and the stab as well as the scribble scratch. So let's do that really quickly. I'm just going to do 1 bar of each. So as you can see there, that was just me practicing all of the different scratch techniques that I mentioned and only hitting those different techniques on the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4. As you can see, I'm just going at an 80 BPM, but I definitely encourage you all to speed that up. Try it at 70, try it at 90, and even try it like get up to 115, 120, just to make sure you have all of those different scratch techniques as clean as possible. Once you're comfortable doing all of those scratch techniques pretty cleanly, step 2 is going to involve mix and matching these different techniques together. So essentially you can do a scribble and then a baby and then a stab and a chirp. You could do 2 babies, a chirp, and a stab. As you can see, I'm kind of just splitting these into 4 because you're still going to be doing these scratch techniques on the 1, 2, 3, and the 4. Okay, so that's going to be step 2, doing the same scratch techniques, but now you want to just practice doing them pretty much freestyling. So you can start at a really slow BPM if you're not comfortable with freestyling, but this will also really help you do that. So this is what that's going to look like. So there's an example of me mixing and matching those different scratch techniques. Again, only focusing on hitting them on the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4. So once you're comfortable with step 1 and step 2 with the mix and match, now we're ready to take it just a little bit further. And now we're going to introduce using those scribbles on our ands. So if we count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 on those ands, we're going to focus on mixing and matching some scribbles within those. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just like that. Okay, so you can see how those scribbles come in on those ands. Again, this is where things are going to definitely pick up in speed. So you want to make sure you're comfortable with steps 1 and 2 first. So now step 3, again, same as step 2, you want to mix and match these different scratch techniques again, while now adding the scribble in there. So before you start just freestyling, I really recommend you practice this way first. So what I'm going to show you essentially is I'm going to do baby scratches, all with scribbles in the middle on the ands. Then I'm going to follow that up with the chirp as well as the scribble. All right, so there's an example of how I would recommend you practice first before you start mixing and matching these different scratch techniques, particularly within step 3. So once you're comfortable with steps 1, 2, and 3, now you're ready to kind of just put these in to whatever scratch pattern that you like. So let's say that you want to actually scratch in this particular song, Hey Ladies, right here. Well, when you get to the last, let's say the last 2 bars or the last bar, the last 4 beats or 8 beats, same exact thing, of a track, let's say on this deck, that's when you want to actually start doing the exact scratch techniques that I just showed you. So starting right on those last 2 bars, you can just go ahead and start mixing and matching some of those scratches. So whether that's the, everything that we just went over, the scribble, the chirp, the stab, the baby scratch. And then once you're actually ready to drop the track, you just go ahead and drop the track. So let me just show you a quick example. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3. Last 2 bars. So in this example, we essentially had those first 4 bars of A Ladies where I used the last 2 bars to start mix and matching some of those scratch techniques that we've gone over in this video. After those last 2 bars, I went ahead and just dropped this track over here. And that's essentially how you could transition by scratching, or at least begin to like intro that track that you want to get into by scratching. So again, just continue to practice these different techniques. They all go together really well, and they'll definitely help you when you want to just hop into a different song. Again, whether it starts with the clap, whether it starts with the kick, whether it starts with the vocal, this is a really simple way that you can go ahead and scratch that new track in from your other track. So if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, please hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button and turn that notification bell on so you know the next time that I upload a video. And with that said, I will catch y'all on the next flight.
I don't got no time, but I'ma make time. In a rush, but this time I'ma take time. Budget all your time while I